Here are the top stories for today, September 23, 2019. A survey reveals most Filipinos are satisfied with President Duterte's campaign against illegal drugs. A big-time oil price hike will be implemented starting Tuesday morning. The military denies allegations it coerced the NPA Amazon to surrender. And the government will finance the studies of more than 40,000 science scholars next year.
Good day, I'm William Theo. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom. Our top story for today, President Rodrigo Duterte's campaign against illegal drugs continued to enjoy excellent net satisfaction rating, despite 3 years of opposition and call for international action. In a survey conducted by the social weather stations from June 22nd to 26, 82% of adult Filipinos said they are satisfied with the government's anti-narcotics campaign, while 12% are dissatisfied. This gives a net satisfaction rating of plus 70, classified as excellent, and tied the 2019 first quarter rating. According to SWS, the net satisfaction of the anti-illegal drugs campaign has always been either very good or excellent in the past 11 survey rounds, with the highest rating recorded in December 2016 at excellent plus 77. The June 2019 survey also found that net satisfaction with the performance of Duterte was excellent plus 76. The SWS conducted the survey using face-to-face interviews of 1,200 adults nationwide. Foreign Affairs Secretary Teodoro Locsin Jr. on Sunday said he is supporting the memorandum issued by the Office of the President not to secure loans and grants from the countries that supports the Iceland resolution. Iceland earlier calls for an investigation on President Duterte's campaign against illegal drugs. The Iceland resolution got a nod from 18 out of 47 member states of the UNHCR. These are Argentina, Australia, Austria, Bahamas, Bulgaria, Croatia, Czech Republic, Denmark, Fiji, Iceland, Italy, Mexico, Peru, Slovakia, Spain, Ukraine, United Kingdom, and Uruguay. On his official Twitter account, Locsin said, "The Philippines doesn't need the money or loans from these countries, as we have more than enough, except from Japan, whose generosity is unconditional and quick. The rest are tongue-in-cheek and negligible." Locsin said the loans and grants affected by the memo is nothing big based on the information he received. He also banned European grants to NGOs unless cleared by the DFA and the NICA. The United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization has vowed to be more careful and discerning in choosing which NGOs to help in the Philippines to avoid funding the communist armed movement. This after a group of indigenous peoples leaders visited their office in Rome, Italy, to report about communist and left-leaning groups taking advantage of the assistance they give. In a dialogue with Filipino IP leaders in Rome, Italy on September 16, 2019, UNFAO Partnerships and Capacity Development Division Director Marcela Villarreal said she is touched by the stories of the IP leaders' bitter experience under the CPP-NPA. According to Datu Awing Apuga, one of the IP leaders, a number of NGOs in the Philippines uses the natives to receive money from big agencies only to fund their evil schemes. Apuga said they are determined to stop the exploitation of IP communities and vowed to do everything to halt the operations of groups acting as channels to the communist movement. Meanwhile, some of the tribal leaders also spoke before the members of the Geneva Press Club in a dialogue in Switzerland. They reported how the communist armed movement thrived through the years through legal fronts and by getting help from some international groups. The tribal leaders are in Europe to rally the international community to resist the narratives of the CPP-NPA. Malacanang said that the proposed 4.1 trillion peso national budget for 2020 will be vetoed by the president if he thinks it violates the Constitution. Cabinet Secretary Carlo Nograles made this assurance after Albay representative revealed that each lawmaker will be receiving 100 million pesos each under the proposed budget. Nograles said President Duterte won't hesitate to use his veto powers as he did when he vetoed the 2019 national budget. In his veto message on the 2019 budget, Duterte said he will not tolerate attempts to circumvent the Constitution or any other action that will prejudice the Filipino people. The AFP is looking into the tragic death of PMA cadet. And PDEA and NCRPO vows to go after police scalawags. More on this from Teresa Montemayor.
AFP Chief of Staff General Benjamin Madrigal on Sunday assured the family of PMA Cadet 4th Class Darwin Dormitorio that all those behind his tragic death will be made accountable. Madrigal said he already directed the PMA to conduct a thorough and speedy investigation to shed light into the incident. Initial investigation showed that Dormitorio succumbed to cardiac arrest secondary to internal hemorrhage allegedly caused by hazing at the PMA Station Hospital early Wednesday. In other news, the National Capital Region Police Office vowed to continue to go after police scalawags, including those who are involved in alleged illegal drugs recycling. This as PDEA confirmed that corrupt anti-narcotics agents use the apprehended illegal drugs to either sell them or use them as planted evidence in false anti-drug operations. NCRPO Chief Major General Guillermo Eleazar said they will not allow few unscrupulous uniformed personnel to ruin the campaign of President Rodrigo Duterte against rampant illegal drugs in the country. Eleazar met with PDEA Director General Aaron Aquina last week to compare notes and share information against the so-called ninja cops or those involved in the recycling of illegal drugs. Meanwhile, the Philippine Army and the United States Army conducted its first ever combined airborne operations at Cesar Basa Air Base, Florida Blanca, Pampanga on Sunday morning. The exercise aimed to enhance the combined airborne and territorial defense capabilities and other competencies in urban combat operations of both Filipino and American troops. Around 500 soldiers from the Philippine Army's 1st Scout Ranger Regiment and Special Forces Regiment and the U.S. Army's 4th Brigade Combat Team participated in the activities. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Teresa Montemayor.
Still to come, the government urges parents to have their kids vaccinated in line with the emergence of polio in the country. The NFA announced it is buying palay at 19 pesos per kilo. More on these when the PNA Newsroom continues.
Ito ang Duterte on Duty. Ulat sa ginagawa ng Presidente.
September 4, Miyerkules, Malacanang. Pinulong ni Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte ang kanyang gabinete para sa 41st Cabinet Meeting sa Aguinaldo State Dining Room. September 6, Biyernes, Naga City, Cebu. Pinangunahan ni Pangulong Duterte ang groundbreaking ceremony ng permanent housing project para sa mga biktima ng landslide noong September 20, 2018 sa Cebu. Ang 90 million pesos Naga permanent housing project ang ibibigay sa halos 200 pamilya.
With the strong collaboration and commitment of our public and private institutions, the improved capacity of our local communities, especially here in Naga City, I am confident that we will overcome natural and man-made disasters and emerge as a stronger and more resilient nation. Akong gimanduan ang tanang naminaw dari sa gobyerno sa itong mga bungol. Paminaw mong maayo nga kanitanan ang balay o ang yuta ihatag na sa inyo libre.
September 7, Sabado, Sultan Kudarat. Nanawagan ng pagkakaisa ang Pangulo sa second phase ng decommissioning ng mga MILF combatants. September 9, Lunes, Malacanang. Mainit na tinanggap ni Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte sa palasyo si Singapore President Halima Yacob para sa 5-day state visit nito sa bansa. Nagkaroon ng bilateral meeting sa pagitan ng Pilipinas at Singapore sa paunguna ng dalawang leader. Sinaksihan din nila ang pagpirma sa 8 Memorandum of Understanding sa pagitan ng dalawang bansa.
Over the past 50 years, our governments and peoples have continuously strengthened our commitment and invested resources towards cultivating a special relationship that lives up to its vast potential. With mutual trust, respect, and abiding amity, I am confident that we will achieve our shared goals and aspirations of our people.
President Duterte and I had a good discussion on a wide range of issues. We reaffirmed the strong ties between our two countries and took stock of our bilateral cooperation. Our close collaboration between our two countries over many years has borne fruitful partnerships.
Natapos ang gabi sa isang state banquet na inihanda ni Pangulong Duterte para sa Singaporean leader at delegasyon nito. September 10, Martes, Malacanang. Pinarangalan ng Pangulo ang mga natatanging empleyado ng gobyerno sa 2019 Outstanding Government Workers Awards. Pinanumpa naman niya ang mga bagong talagang opisyal ng League of Vice Governors of the Philippines at Malacanang Press Corps. September 12, Huwebes, Balanga, Bataan. Pinangunahan ng Pangulo ang inaugurasyon ng Bataan Government Center and Business Hub na tinawag din na The Bunker.
It is in this light that I acknowledge the government officials of Bataan for their inspiring vision to build this hub that will facilitate the convergence of government offices, national government agencies, and other service providers as they engage the general public.
Ako po si Secretary Martin Andana at ito ang Duterte on Duty. Abangan sa susunod na linggo ang mga gagawin ng Pangulo.
Malacanang expressed alarm over the re-emergence of polio in the Philippines and encouraged parents to have their kids vaccinated not only from polio but from any other illnesses as well. Cabinet Secretary Carlo Nograles said that the government must act fast to stop and reverse the viral disease, especially since polio is highly contagious amongst children. Nograles pointed out that although immunization is free, it is just a matter of convincing the parents and their families to have their children vaccinated or immunized. He is urging the Department of Health to push and promote immunization against polio and all other sicknesses, adding that President Rodrigo Duterte himself is willing to help promote the polio immunization campaign. Finance Undersecretary Gil Beltran raised the need to enhance rice productivity programs to make this product competitive and lessen the need to protect. Beltran said local rice has a 44.4% effective protection rate, or EPR, a measure of tariff protection given to a sector. While rice enjoys a high EPR, Beltran pointed out hog farming, meat production, processing and preserving, slaughtering and packing of bovine animals and cattle farming dropped to negative values. He said the negative EPR is a result in high cost and translates to high prices for the commodities. He said only when the productivity has increased can the country enable downstream industries and consumers some breathing space. And in our business news, oil companies have announced the biggest increase in pump prices this year. Pilipinas Shell, Petroleum Corporation, Petrogas, and Clean Fuel announced an increase of 2 pesos and 35 centavos per liter on gasoline, 1 peso and 80 centavos per liter on diesel, and 1 peso and 75 centavos per liter on kerosene effective 6 a.m. tomorrow. The major price increase follows the drone attacks on 2 major oil facilities of state-run Saudi Aramco in Saudi Arabia last weekend, cutting the kingdom's output by more than 5% of the global oil supply. San Miguel Corporation is eyeing to submit an unsolicited proposal for the construction of the Panay-Guimaras Bridge. San Miguel President and COO Ramon Ang was in Iloilo for the groundbreaking of the company's 6.7 billion peso brewery facility in Leganes Town on Friday. Senator Franklin Drilon said a feasibility study for the 2.5-kilometer bridge is being undertaken by the Chinese government. The bridge project will anchor right where the brewery of San Miguel is located. Ang meanwhile remarked how impressed he was with the first-class development of Iloilo City. The tycoon added that his firm has been engaging in government infrastructure projects to challenge other companies to join.
In Negros Occidental, at least 27 kilos of pork asado siopaw from Luzon that arrived in Bacolod Silay Airport were seized and disposed of over the weekend. Negros Occidental has banned the entry of pork and its byproducts from Luzon, which has reported positive cases of ASF. The temporary ban is one of the measures ordered by Governor Eugenio Lacson to protect the 6 billion pesos wine industry of Negros Occidental. In Coronadal City, South Cotabato, 2 road widening projects are underway which aims to solve the traffic congestion along Cotabato-Marbel Road and Balok Bridge. The 33 million peso project of the DPWH is targeted to be completed in December, while the additional 2 lanes for the present 4-lane Cotabato-Marbel Road along Alunan Avenue is expected to be completed on March 2020. In Compostela Valley, 11 classrooms are being constructed to cater to the learners of Salugpungan Learning Center, which was recently suspended by the Department of Education. Governor J.V. Tyrone Uy on Friday said all 11 classrooms are expected to be completed next month. The Bayanihan para sa Paaralan is a program of the provincial government to address the shortage of classrooms in the different public schools with the assistance of the local business sector. In other news, farmers claiming that their palay were being bought at 7 pesos per kilo can proceed to the National Food Authority that buys at higher price. During the 6th Regional Organic Agriculture Congress and Farmers Forum at the Benguet Agri-Pinoy Trading Center in La Trinidad on Friday, Agriculture Secretary William Dar said the NFA under the DA is buying palay at 19 pesos per kilo. He said there will be no importation allowed during harvest months to assure that the market will not be flooded and the local production be prioritized for local consumption. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Janice Cave.
Up next, the military denies allegations it coerced the NPA Amazon to surrender. And more than 40,000 science scholars are assured of funding by next year. The PNA Newsroom returns after these reminders.
Ang pinakamasakit po na ginawa nila sa amin, kaming dalawa sa aking pinsan ay binaboy naman kami ng mga... At hindi lang po ako yung napapati yung mga schoolmate namin, yung mga classmate ko, so yun. Ganon din po yung mga nangyayari sa kanila. So, sana po tulungan niyo kami, tulungan niyo po ako na sana mabigyan ako ng justisya kasi mahirap po para sa akin. Kung minsan po ay para akong malilito, para akong nababali pag maiisip ko yung nangyari sa akin. Kahit hindi ko na po natapos yung, hindi ko na po nakamit yung pangarap ko, basta hindi lang po ito nangyari sa akin.
I'm so shocked because we supporting the indigenous people for my whole life, but I didn't know that it was all lies and it's all covered up. up by some other organization.
Wala kaming kaalam-alam kung anong ginagawa ng mga NPA sa ating mga indigenous people sa Philippines. Kung hindi, dahil yung mga latest na reports na sila ay umaaklas na against NPA, kung meron kaming alam na mga tumutulong dito sa Europe, tumutulong sa mga NGOs sa Philippines na napupunta lang pala sa kamay ng mga NPAs, syempre, i-orient din namin sila. We have to make them aware of what's going on with the money which they send to the Philippines.
Malinaw na isang malaking kampanya ang ginagawa ng pamahalaang gobyerno sa pamumuno ng ating Pangulong Duterte. Isang napakalaking kaalaman para sa aming taga-Europe, kami mga Pilipino na nanirahan dito, na maunawaan lubos ang nangyayari sa ating mga indigenous people. Bilang aksyon o isang kasagutan na magagawa namin sa panawagan nilang ito, ay DDS Europe ay gagawa ng paraan upang maipamahagi ang impormasyon sa social media at partikular dito sa Bayan Belgium. Magagamit namin ang aming impluensya para maparating ang pangyayaring ito at makatulong sa kanila upang mahinto ang pagpopondo sa CPP-NPA sa komunista sa ating bansa.
The military denies allegations by militant group Karapatan that a surrendered NPA Amazon was coerced into signing documents without legal counsel and being deprived of food and sleep. The Army's 201st Infantry Brigade said Alexandria Pacalda signed an affidavit of voluntary surrender last September 15. It was signed in the presence of her brother, father, and a certain member of Karapatan. It said Pacalda was not detained nor charged with any crime. The Army said Pacalda was allowed to stay inside the camp in Calawag, Quezon on the premise that she wants to live a normal life again after being victimized by the NPA. Meanwhile, PCOO Secretary Martin Andanar said it won't be long before armed communist conflict will be wiped out. Andanar said the whole-of-nation approach to address insurgency in the country has been effective in helping the country attain peace. The PCOO chief also cited how President's socio-economic reforms cleansed the bureaucracy from corruption through the cabinet officers for regional development and security. Government will be funding the studies of over 44,000 science scholars next year as part of the so-called national talent pool the country needs. Senate President Pro Tempore Ralph Recto said on Sunday the 2020 cost of the tuition, living, and other allowances of these scholars is 7.4 billion pesos. This includes the operations of the Philippine Science High School, the Science Education Institute. The amount accounts for more than one-third of the proposed 20 million peso budget of the Department of Science and Technology. These scholars are dispersed over many courses under the Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics or STEM umbrella. Recto said the problems the country confronts today, from health to agriculture to traffic, can only have science-based solutions. He said the generous financial aid that comes with a scholarship should attract the best and the brightest to pursue STEM courses. In continued efforts to help the residents of Marawi City, Task Force Bangon Marawi launched a trade fair featuring Maranao items and products made by the city's entrepreneurs. More on this from Sweet Lukman.
Various Maranao crafts, native delicacies, ready-to-wear items, and other products are now being displayed until September 25 at Lanao del Sur Provincial Capitol Grounds. Spearheaded by the Task Force Bangon Marawi, Provincial Government of Lanao del Sur, Office of the Presidential Advisor on the Peace Process, Department of Trade and Industry, and Bangon Marawi Chamber of Commerce and Industry. The Bangon Marawi Heritage Food and Crafts Trade Fair aims to support the affected entrepreneurs of Marawi and to promote the local heritage of the city. In line with the National Peace Consciousness Month, celebration, the trade was conceived by various government agencies and private sector to showcase unity in promoting peace and prosperity. Some of the cooperatives which display their products include Dayawan Handicraft Loom Weaving Producers Cooperative, Pasad Saranao Handicrafts, Intad Negosyo, Maranao Collectibles, and DW Okir Cooperative Services. These cooperatives have also received livelihood assistance from various government agencies and humanitarian organizations. For PNA Newsroom, Sweet Lukman, Philippine Information Agency.
Nighttime is going to be longer than daytime starting tonight after the autumnal equinox. Pag-asa said the autumnal equinox is when the length of day and night are nearly equal by 12 hours. This signifies the coming of winter in the northern hemisphere and summer in the southern hemisphere. This also means longer chilly nights associated with the Christmas season. Let's now check out the weather forecast for Metro Manila and the rest of the country. Luzon and Visayas will experience cloudy skies with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms brought about by a low-pressure area. While Mindanao and the rest of Visayas will have partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers or thunderstorms. Let's take another look at today's biggest stories.
A survey reveals most Filipinos are satisfied with President Duterte's campaign against illegal drugs. A big-time oil price hike will be implemented starting Tuesday morning. The military denies allegations it coerced the NPA Amazon to surrender, and the government will finance the studies of more than 40,000 science scholars next year.
Thank you for watching another edition of the PNA Newsroom. To check out these and other stories, visit the PNA website or follow the Philippine News Agency on Facebook and Twitter. For more stories about the government and how it serves the Filipinos, look for these hashtags in all of our social media platforms and websites. And that's your daily dose of the latest news and information that you need to know. From the PNA Newsroom, I am William Theo. Good day.